The Disowned Daughter's Empire. My family disowned me for marrying a black man. They said I was dead to them. When my husband died in a car crash while I was pregnant, they didn't even come to the funeral. I raised our son alone, broke and abandoned by everyone. 10 years later, I'm worth $120 million. My jewelry empire is on every celebrity in Hollywood. And now they all want back in. My racist family wants forgiveness. My dead husband's family wants money. Everyone wants a piece of what I built. But they don't know the truth about who really helped me survive. And it's going to shock everyone. My name is Sophia Martinelli, and I was born into privilege. My family, the Martinellis, are one of the wealthiest Italian-American families in Miami. My father, Dominic Martinelli, owns Martinelli Luxury Real Estate, one of the most prestigious agencies in South Florida. We sell $50 million penthouses, oceanfront mansions, private islands. I grew up in a 15,000-square-foot mansion in Coral Gables. Private schools, designer clothes, European vacations, country club memberships. I had everything money could buy. But I also grew up with something money shouldn't buy: prejudice. My family was old-school Italian, traditional, conservative, and quietly, insidiously racist. They'd never say it outright. We were too classy for that. But the implications were always there. Sophia, you need to marry someone from a good family. Translation: someone white and wealthy. Those people don't understand our culture. Translation: black people aren't like us. We need to preserve our heritage. Translation: don't mix races. I was 22 years old, working at my father's real estate agency as a junior agent, being groomed to take over the family business someday. My life was planned out: marry a nice Italian boy from a wealthy family, have babies, sell mansions, die rich. And then I met Jamal. It was August 2014. I was showing a condo in downtown Miami. The client never showed, so I stopped at a coffee shop on my way back to the office. That's where I saw him. Jamal Richardson, 24 years old. He was working behind the counter, making lattes, chatting with customers. He had the most beautiful smile I'd ever seen. Warm brown eyes, locks tied back. And when he laughed, the whole room felt brighter. "What can I get you?" he asked. Vanilla latte, please." He made my coffee, and when he handed it to me, our hands touched. I felt electricity. He'd written on the cup, "Beautiful smile. J." I came back the next day. And the next, and the next. We started talking, really talking. He told me he was studying business at Miami-Dade College, working full-time to pay for it. He'd grown up in Liberty City, one of the poorest neighborhoods in Miami. Single mother, 3 younger siblings. He was the first in his family to go to college. "I'm going to own my own business someday," he told me with absolute certainty. "Maybe a whole chain of coffee shops. Give jobs to people from my neighborhood. Show kids like me that there's a way out." His ambition, his kindness, his strength. I fell in love with all of it. We started dating secretly. I knew my family would never approve, so I hid it. Told them I was working late, meeting friends, anything to steal time with Jamal. For 6 months, we built something beautiful. He showed me parts of Miami I'd never seen, neighborhoods my family would never set foot in. He introduced me to his mother, Gloria, and his siblings. They welcomed me with open arms, no judgment about my wealthy background. Jamal made me laugh. He challenged me. He saw me as Sophia, not as Dominic Martinelli's daughter or a Martinelli luxury real estate asset. He saw me as me. On Valentine's Day 2015, he proposed. We were at Bayfront Park, watching the sunset. He got down on one knee with a simple silver ring, all he could afford on a barista's salary. "Sophia, I don't have much, but I promise I'll spend every day of my life making you happy. Will you marry me?" I said yes without hesitation. That's when I knew I had to tell my family. I told them at Sunday dinner. The whole family was there. My parents, my 2 older brothers, Marco and Anthony, my grandmother, Nonna Rosa, various aunts and uncles. I walked into the dining room with Jamal. I was holding his hand. The room went silent. "Everyone," I said, my voice shaking, "this is Jamal Richardson, my fiancé." My father stood up so fast, his chair fell backward. "Get out," he said, pointing at Jamal. "Get out of my house." "Papa, please." I said, "Get out." Jamal squeezed my hand. "Mr. Martinelli, I understand this is a surprise, but I love your daughter. I want to do this the right way. I'm asking for your blessing." "My blessing?" My father's face was purple with rage. "You think I would ever give you my blessing? You think I'd let my daughter marry—" "Marry!" He couldn't even say it, but we all knew what he meant. My mother, Isabella, started crying. "Sophia, how could you do this to us? How could you embarrass this family?" "I'm not embarrassing anyone. I'm in love." My brother Marco stood up. "Sophia, be realistic. This isn't going to work. You two are from completely different worlds." "So what? I don't care about that." "Well, you should," my father said coldly, "because here's what's going to happen. You can marry this person, but if you do, you are no longer a Martinelli. You're fired from the company. You're cut off financially. You get nothing from this family. Not a dollar. Not a relationship. Nothing." I looked at my mother, hoping for support. She looked away. I looked at Nona, my grandmother, who'd always spoiled me. She shook her head. "Sophia, don't throw away your heritage for this." "This?" Jamal said quietly. "You mean me? I'm right here." "You should leave," Anthony said. "This is a family matter." "He is family," I said. "He's going to be my husband." My father grabbed me by the arm. "Sophia, you walk out that door with him. You don't come back. Ever. You choose him. You choose poverty. You choose him. You choose to be dead to this family. Is that what you want?" I looked at Jamal. He was trying so hard to stay calm, but I could see the hurt in his eyes. I looked at my family. These people who claimed to love me, but couldn't accept the person I loved. "Yes," I said. "I choose him." I walked out with Jamal and never looked back. The next 6 months were the happiest and hardest of my life. Jamal and I got married at the courthouse with just his family there. His mother, Gloria, cried tears of joy. His siblings, Marcus, 19, Keisha, 17, and little Dante, 12, welcomed me like I'd always been part of the family. We moved into a tiny one-bedroom apartment in Overtown, 600 square feet. The AC barely worked, but it was ours. I had to find work. I'd only ever worked for my family, and my degree was in business from a private university my father had paid for. I applied everywhere: retail, restaurants, offices. Most places turned me down when they saw Martinelli Luxury Real Estate on my resume. "You're overqualified," they'd say. What they meant was, "You're a spoiled rich girl who'll quit in 2 weeks." Finally, I got a job as a server at a chain restaurant. $2.13 an hour plus tips. I'd gone from selling $10 million estates to bringing people appetizers. Jamal kept working at the coffee shop and taking classes at night. We were broke, like genuinely broke. We bought groceries at the dollar store. We walked everywhere to save on gas. We shared one phone between us. But we were happy. We'd have dinner in our tiny apartment, pasta with jarred sauce because it was cheap, and talk about our dreams. Jamal's coffee shop empire. I didn't even know what my dream was anymore. I'd always thought I'd take over the family business. Now that was gone. In November 2015, I found out I was pregnant. I took the test in the bathroom of the restaurant where I worked. 2 pink lines. I was terrified and ecstatic all at once. I called my mother. I thought, maybe this would change things. A grandchild. Maybe that would soften her heart. "Mama, I'm pregnant." Silence on the other end. "Mama." "Sophia," she said coldly, "I don't have a daughter. Don't call this number again." She hung up. I cried in that bathroom for an hour. But Jamal? When I told him, he lifted me up and spun me around our tiny apartment. "We're having a baby. Sophia, we're going to be parents. We can barely afford to feed ourselves. How are we going to afford a baby?" "We'll figure it out. We always do." He picked up extra shifts. I worked until I was 8 months pregnant, on my feet for 10-hour shifts. We saved every penny. Gloria helped us, gave us hand-me-down baby clothes, a crib Marcus had used, diapers she'd buy with her grocery money. "Family takes care of family," she said, hugging me. "And you're my daughter now." I'd lost one family, but I'd gained another. February 14th, 2016, Valentine's Day. I was 9 months pregnant, due any day. Jamal had planned something special. He'd gotten off work early, bought flowers from a street vendor, and was bringing home Chinese takeout, our favorite cheap date night. I was in our apartment, folding tiny baby clothes, feeling our son kick inside me. We decided to name him Jamal Jr. Little J. My phone rang at 8:47 p.m. Is this Sophia Richardson? Yes? This is Jackson Memorial Hospital. Your husband, Jamal Richardson, was brought in by ambulance. There's been an accident. You need to come right away. The world stopped. Gloria drove me to the hospital. I was having contractions. Stress-induced, the doctors would later say. When we got there, a doctor pulled us into a private room. The look on his face told me everything. I'm so sorry. We did everything we could. The injuries were too severe. He didn't make it. What? What happened? Car accident. A drunk driver ran a red light, hit the driver's side going 70 miles an hour. Mr. Richardson died on impact. He didn't suffer. I collapsed. Literally collapsed. Gloria caught me. My husband was dead. The father of my unborn child was gone. And I was about to give birth. They admitted me that night. The stress had triggered labor. I gave birth to Jamal Jr. on February 15th, 2016, at 3:42 a.m. I held my son in my arms and sobbed. He looked exactly like his father. Beautiful brown skin, thick dark hair. Perfect. Your daddy loved you so much, I whispered to him. He would have been so proud of you. Gloria was there. She held us both, and we cried together. You know who wasn't there? My family. I'd called them from the hospital, left a voicemail. Jamal died. I'm in labor. I'm at Jackson Memorial. No one came. No one called back. Nothing. My husband was buried 3 days later. Small funeral at a church in Liberty City. His family, some friends from his coffee shop, his professors from college, no Martinellis. At 23 years old, I was a widow and a single mother with $1,847 in my bank account and a baby who needed everything. I didn't know how I was going to survive. 1 week after Jamal's funeral, there was a knock on my apartment door. I opened it, holding little Jay, exhausted and hollow. Standing in the doorway was Jamal. I literally screamed and almost dropped the baby. Sophia, it's okay. It's me, Jordan, Jamal's twin brother. I stared at him in shock. He looked exactly like Jamal. Same face, same height, same voice. But his hair was shorter, and he had a small scar above his left eyebrow. Jamal never mentioned a twin. Jordan's face fell. I know, we were estranged. We hadn't spoken in 5 years. I didn't even know he'd gotten married until my mom called me about the funeral. I was overseas, in the army, stationed in Germany. I couldn't get back in time. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Sophia. I'm sorry for your loss, for our loss. Can I come in? I let him in. It was surreal, looking at someone who looked exactly like my dead husband, but wasn't him. Jordan sat down and told me everything. He and Jamal were identical twins, grew up together in Liberty City. But when they were 19, they'd had a huge falling out. Jordan had wanted to join the army to get out of poverty. Jamal had been furious, said Jordan was abandoning the family, abandoning their neighborhood. He said I was running away from my blackness, trying to join the white man's military, Jordan said sadly. We fought. Awful things were said. And then I left. We didn't speak for 5 years. I kept up with the family through my mom, but Jamal and we were done. He never told me any of this. He was stubborn, proud. I wanted to reach out so many times, but I didn't know how. Jordan looked at the baby in my arms. Is that Jamal Jr., your nephew? His eyes filled with tears. He's beautiful. He looks just like Jamal did as a baby. Would you like to hold him? Jordan held his nephew and cried, I'm so sorry I wasn't here. I'm sorry Jamal and I wasted 5 years being stubborn, and I'm sorry you're going through this alone. I have Gloria. She's been amazing. But you need more help. Sophia, I just finished my service. I'm back in the States for good. I'm staying with my mom for now, but can I be part of Jay's life? Can I be his uncle? I looked at this man who looked so much like my husband. Part of me wanted to say no. It hurt too much, seeing Jamal's face on someone else. But another part of me saw an opportunity, a connection to Jamal. Family for my son. Yes, I said. Please. I would really like that. Jordan became a constant presence in our lives. He got a job as a security consultant. His army experience paid well. He helped me with rent when I couldn't make it. He'd come over and watch Jay so I could sleep. He taught me how to budget properly, a skill he'd learned in the military. "The army taught me discipline," he said. "How to make $1,000 stretch for a month. You need systems, Sophia. Systems and discipline." He helped me find a better job, administrative assistant at a law firm. Better pay, benefits, health insurance for me and Jay. Slowly, month by month, I stabilized. Jordan and I grew close. Not romantic. God, no. The grief was too fresh, and he looked too much like Jamal. But we became genuine friends, partners in raising Jay. One night, when Jay was about 15 months old, Jordan came over with takeout. We were eating on the floor of my apartment, because I still didn't have a proper dining table. "I've been thinking," Jordan said, "about Jamal, about what he wanted." "The coffee shop empire?" "Yeah, he always talked about it. Creating something, building something that mattered." "I think about it too. But Jordan, we don't have capital for a coffee shop. We barely have rent." "What if we started smaller? What if we created something we could build from home?" "Like what?" He pulled out his phone and showed me his Instagram. "I've been following this trend. Handmade jewelry. People making custom pieces with meaning. Memorial jewelry especially. Cremation jewelry. Pieces with ashes or hair or fingerprints." My heart clenched. "That's morbid." "No, it's beautiful. It's keeping people close." "Sophia, you wore Jamal's dog tags to the funeral. I saw you. You still wear them every day. Why?" I touched the tags around my neck. "Because it's all I have of him." "Exactly. What if we could make something beautiful, something that honored Jamal's memory, but also helped other people honor their loved ones?" I thought about it. "I don't know anything about jewelry making." "But you're creative. You used to sketch floor plans and design staging concepts for properties, and I can learn the technical stuff. Sophia, we could do this. Start small, online only, invest a few $100s in materials, see what happens. And call it what?" He smiled. "Jamal's Legacy Jewelry. Every piece we make, we donate a portion to a scholarship fund in his name for kids from Liberty City. We build something that matters, something he would have been proud of." I started crying. "He would love that." "So let's do it." We started that month. $500 total investment, my tax return, and Jordan's savings. We bought basic jewelry making supplies, watched YouTube tutorials, practiced for weeks. Our first piece was a memorial pendant. I put a tiny amount of Jamal's ashes inside. Gloria had given me a portion. Sealed it in resin and set it in a silver setting. I wore it every day. People noticed. "Where did you get that? It's beautiful." "I made it, for my late husband." "Could you make one for me? My mother died last year." Word spread. We set up an Etsy shop. Our first month, we sold 3 pieces, $180 revenue. Second month, 12 pieces, $720. Third month, 47 pieces, $2,820. We reinvested every penny. Better materials, better tools, more designs. Jordan quit his job to work on it full-time. I kept my day job, but worked on jewelry every night after Jay went to sleep. Within a year, we were making $15,000 a month. Everything changed in March 2018. A customer ordered a memorial bracelet for her father, a veteran who died from cancer. She posted about it on Instagram. Her name was Michelle Rodriguez, the actress from Fast and Furious. She posted a photo of the bracelet with the caption, "This beautiful piece from @Jamal's Legacy Jewelry holds my father's ashes. Small businesses with big hearts. Check them out." She had 15 million followers. Our website crashed within an hour. Orders flooded in. Hundreds, then thousands. Jordan and I worked 20-hour days trying to keep up. We hired Gloria and Jordan's siblings to help. We rented a small workshop space. Within 3 months, we had a 6-month waiting list. Other celebrities started wearing our pieces. Gabrielle Union, Zendaya. John Legend bought one for Chrissy Teigen after she had a miscarriage, a memorial piece for the baby they lost. Each celebrity post brought another tsunami of orders. By the end of 2018, Jamal's Legacy Jewelry had made $2.7 million in revenue. By 2019, $8.3 million. We expanded beyond memorial jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands, custom pieces. But our core mission stayed the same, meaningful jewelry with purpose, and 10% of all profits went to the Jamal Richardson Scholarship Fund. We'd given out $340,000 in scholarships to kids from Liberty City. In 2020, despite COVID, we hit $23 million in revenue. We went fully online, which actually helped us during lockdowns. In 2021, we opened our first physical store in Miami's Design District, then one in Soho, then Beverly Hills, then London. By 2023, we had 22 stores across 8 countries. And in 2024, Forbes valued our company at $120 million. I was 32 years old, a multimillionaire, a successful CEO. And I'd done it all while raising Jay, now 8 years old, who was smart, kind, and looked more like his father every day. Jordan had been there through everything. My business partner, my co-parent in many ways, my best friend. And somewhere along the way, something shifted between us. It was Jay's 7th birthday party in 2023. We'd rented out a whole arcade, Jay's friends from school, Gloria, and the extended Richardson family. Jordan and I were watching Jay play skee-ball, laughing as he celebrated every ball that went in the 10-point hole. "He's so much like Jamal," Jordan said softly. "He is, but he's also like you. The discipline, the focus. You taught him that." Jordan looked at me. "Sophia, can I tell you something?" "Of course." "I love being in his life, in both of your lives. These past 7 years, building the business together, raising Jay together, it's been the most meaningful time of my life." "Mine too. But I need to be honest with you about something." He took a deep breath. "I think I'm falling in love with you." My heart stopped. "Jordan, I know it's complicated. I look exactly like your husband. I'm his twin brother. There are 1,000 reasons why this is a bad idea. But Sophia, you're not just Jamal's widow to me anymore. You're Sophia. You're brilliant and strong and an incredible mother. And I can't keep pretending I don't feel this way." I didn't know what to say. For 7 years, I'd loved Jordan as a friend, as a partner, as family. But had I been in love with him? Or was I in love with having a piece of Jamal still in my life? "I need time to think," I said. "Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere." I talked to Gloria about it. She was in her kitchen, making her famous jerk chicken. "Mija, can I tell you something?" "Please." "Jamal would want you to be happy. He would want Jay to have a father figure. And Jordan is a good man. Different from Jamal in so many ways, but good. But don't you think it's weird? He's Jamal's identical twin." "It would be weird if you were trying to replace Jamal, but you're not. You're moving forward with someone who honors Jamal's memory while being his own person. That's different." I thought about it for weeks, and I realized I did love Jordan, not because he looked like Jamal, but in spite of it. I loved his quiet strength, his patience, the way he was with Jay, the way he'd stood by me through the hardest years of my life. He wasn't a replacement. He was his own person, and I loved that person. I asked him to dinner, just the two of us. "Jordan, I've been thinking about what you said. And? I love you too. I think I have for a while. I was just scared to admit it." He took my hand across the table. "Are you sure? I don't want you to feel pressured. I don't want to be a substitute for—" "You're not. You're Jordan, and I choose you. Not because you look like Jamal, not because you're convenient, but because you're you." We got married in December 2023. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. Gloria cried through the whole thing. Jay was our ring bearer. He was so proud. "Does this mean Uncle Jordan is my dad now?" he asked. Jordan knelt down to his level. "I'm always going to be your Uncle Jordan, but if you want, I'd be honored to be your dad too." "I want that," Jay said. We became a family, officially. Everything was perfect. The business was thriving. My family was happy. Jay was flourishing. And then, in February 2025, 10 years after Jamal died, my past came knocking. Literally. There was a knock on the door of our home, a beautiful house in Pinecrest we'd bought the year before. Jordan answered it. Standing on our doorstep was my father, Dominic Martinelli. I heard Jordan's voice. "Can I help you?" "I'm here to see my daughter, Sophia." I came to the door. I hadn't seen my father in 10 years. He looked older, grayer, smaller somehow. "Papa?" "Sophia, you look well." An understatement. I was wearing a Chanel dress I'd bought last month. My jewelry, my own designs, probably cost more than his car. What do you want? Can I come in? I'd like to talk. Against my better judgment, I let him in. He looked around our home, the art on the walls, the designer furniture, the view of the golf course from our windows. You've done well for yourself. What do you want, Papa? He sat down without being invited. I've been following your success, your company, Jamal's Legacy Jewelry. It's very impressive. Thank you. I saw you on the cover of Forbes. From Disowned to Millionaire, Sophia Martinelli's journey. Quite a headline. It's Sophia Richardson now. Or Sophia Richardson, technically, since I married Jordan. I gestured to my husband. My father barely glanced at Jordan. I wanted to reach out, to reconnect. After 10 years? I was wrong, Sophia. I was wrong to give you that ultimatum. I was wrong to cut you off. I'm your father. I should have supported you. You should have, but you didn't. I'm here now. I want to make amends. I want to be part of your life, part of my grandson's life. Now you want to be a grandfather? After ignoring his existence for 8 years? I made mistakes. I'm trying to fix them. Before I could respond, there was another knock on the door. Jordan opened it. Standing there were my mother, my brothers Marco and Anthony, and my Nona. Sophia! My mother pushed past Jordan and tried to hug me. Mia Bambina! I stepped back. What is this? What's going on? Marco smiled. We've missed you, sis. We want you back in the family. We? I looked at all of them. Where were you when I was sleeping in a 600-square-foot apartment? Where were you when I was pregnant and alone? Where were you at Jamal's funeral? Silence. That's what I thought. Sophia, Nona said, we made mistakes, but family is family. You're a Martinelli. You'll always be a Martinelli. I'm a Richardson. Fine, Richardson Martinelli, Anthony said. The point is, we want to be in your life. Why now? Jordan asked. Why not 9 years ago, 8 years ago, 5 years ago? Stay out of this, my father snapped at him. Don't talk to my husband like that, I said coldly. There was another knock. This time, it was people I didn't recognize. An older black couple. The woman looked familiar somehow. Can we help you? Jordan asked. We're looking for Sophia Richardson, the man said. We're the Richardsons, Jamal's father, Robert, and his stepmother, Patricia. My jaw dropped. Jamal's father? Jamal had told me his father had left when he and Jordan were babies. Gloria had raised them alone. What are you doing here? Jordan's voice was ice. We heard about Sophia's success, Robert said. About the jewelry company named after our son. We thought we should connect. You left when we were 6 months old, Jordan said. You've never been part of our lives. But Jamal was still my son, and that boy upstairs is my grandson. You have no right, Jordan started. But then there was another knock. This time it was Gloria, looking distressed. Sophia, Jordan, I'm so sorry. I tried to stop them, but behind her were more people. Jamal's extended family, cousins, an aunt. People I'd met maybe once or twice at the funeral. They all pushed into our house. Everyone was talking at once. My father. We should discuss merging our businesses. My mother. When can we meet our grandson? Robert Richardson. We deserve a share of the company named after our son. Jamal's cousin. Family should benefit from family success. I stood in the middle of my living room, surrounded by people who'd abandoned me, ignored me, rejected me. And now they all wanted a piece of what I'd built. I looked at Jordan. He nodded. Enough! I shouted. Everyone went quiet. All of you, sit down, now. They all sat, my family on one side, Jamal's extended family on the other, like opposing teams. I stood in the middle with Jordan beside me. Let me make sure I understand this correctly, I said. You all want to be part of my life now, after 10 years. After I built a $120 million company from nothing. Is that right? Murmurs of agreement. And you, I pointed at my father, you want to reconnect and possibly merge businesses. You, pointing at Robert Richardson, think you deserve a share of a company named after a son you abandoned as a baby. And all of you, gesturing to everyone else, suddenly remember that family is important. More murmurs. Let me tell you a story, I said. In February 2016, I was 23 years old. I was pregnant. My husband had just died in a car accident. I had $1,847 in my bank account. I was working as a server, making $2.13 an hour plus tips. I was living in a 600-square-foot apartment with broken AC. I looked directly at my father. I called you from the hospital. I left a voicemail. Jamal died. I'm in labor. I'm at Jackson Memorial Hospital. You know who came? Gloria. That's it. Not my parents. Not my brothers. Not my Nona who claimed to love me so much. Nona looked down. I buried my husband with $87. That's all I could afford. Gloria and the church helped cover the rest. You know who else wasn't there? Robert and Patricia Richardson, Jamal's biological father. Where were you? Robert had the decency to look ashamed. For the next year, I worked 3 jobs. I was so broke, I was eating ramen for every meal so Jay could have formula and diapers. You know who helped me? Gloria. She gave me hand-me-down clothes for Jay. She babysat for free so I could work. She loved me and my son when nobody else did. Gloria was crying. And then Jordan came into our lives, Jamal's twin brother. He'd been estranged from his brother for 5 years, but he showed up. He helped me with rent. He taught me how to budget. He held Jay when I was too exhausted to move. He became my family when all of you abandoned me. Jordan took my hand. Together, Jordan and I built Jamal's legacy jewelry. We started with $500. We worked 20-hour days. We built something beautiful, something meaningful. And yes, we became successful. Very successful. I walked over to my father. But you don't get credit for that, Papa. You don't get to swoop in now and pretend you supported me. You gave me an ultimatum. Choose between the man I loved and my family. I chose love. And you chose to disown your own daughter. Sophia, I was protecting you. From what? From happiness? From love? From the best man I ever knew? I shook my head. No. You were protecting your own prejudice, your own racism. You couldn't handle that I loved a black man. My father flinched at the word racism. And you, I turned to my brothers. You stood there and said nothing. You let him throw me out. You blocked my number. You pretended I didn't exist. Marco opened his mouth, but I cut him off. And Nona, you told me I was throwing away my heritage. But my heritage isn't racism. My heritage isn't conditional love. If that's what being a Martinelli means, I don't want it. I turned to Robert Richardson. As for you, you left Gloria with twin 6-month-old babies. She raised them alone. She worked 2 jobs. She made sure those boys had food and clothes and love. And you did nothing. You paid no child support. You never visited. You were a ghost. I had my reasons. I don't care about your reasons. Jamal became an incredible man despite you, not because of you. And Jordan, he's twice the man you'll ever be. I addressed the whole room. You all want something from me. Money, access, legitimacy. But here's what you don't seem to understand. I don't owe you anything. Not a dollar, not a relationship, nothing. Sophia, please, my mother started. Let me finish. You all made your choices. You chose to abandon me when I needed you most. And I survived. I thrived. I built a beautiful life with people who actually showed up. I gestured to Gloria. This woman, Gloria Richardson, she's my family. She's the grandmother my son knows and loves. She's been there for every birthday, every scraped knee, every milestone. Gloria stood up and I hugged her. And Jordan, my husband, my partner, he's been there through everything. He's the father Jay knows. He's earned that role. But I'm his biological grandfather, Robert said. I have rights. You have nothing. Legally, morally, you have nothing. You abandoned your sons. You don't get to claim their children. I took a breath and made my final statement. Here's what's going to happen. All of you are going to leave my house. Now. If you try to contact me, I'll get a restraining order. If you try to sue for any portion of my company, I have the best lawyers in Miami and I will destroy you in court. Sophia, you can't mean this, my mother sobbed. I absolutely mean it. You had 10 years to reach out, 10 years to apologize, 10 years to be part of Jay's life. You chose not to. You only care now because I'm rich and successful. That's not love, that's greed. What about the Martinelli legacy? My father demanded. You're the only one who can continue the family name. I already continued a legacy, Jamal's legacy. A legacy of kindness, ambition, and love. That's the only legacy I care about. I walked to the door and opened it. Get out, all of you, except Gloria. She can stay. They left. Some angry, some crying. some trying to negotiate one last time. I didn't care. When the last person left, I closed the door and locked it. Jordan wrapped his arms around me. "You okay?" "I'm perfect." Jay came running down the stairs. "Mom! Dad! What was all that noise?" I picked up my 8-year-old son, my beautiful boy, who had his father's smile and his uncle-turned-stepfather's discipline. "Nothing important, baby. Just some people leaving. Come on, let's have dinner." Gloria made her jerk chicken. We ate together as a family. The family I chose, the family that chose me back. It's 2028 now. Jay is 11 years old and thriving. He's in 6th grade, getting straight A's, playing basketball, and learning to make jewelry with Jordan and me on weekends. Jamal's legacy jewelry is worth $200 million now. We have 47 stores worldwide. We've given out over $5 million in scholarships through the Jamal Richardson Memorial Fund. Gloria lives in a beautiful house we bought for her. 3 bedrooms, big backyard, paid off. She's retired now. She spends her days gardening and spoiling her grandson. Jordan and I are happier than ever. We just celebrated our 4th wedding anniversary. We're even talking about having another baby, maybe through adoption this time. As for the Martinellis and the extended Richardson clan, I haven't heard from them in 3 years. Well, that's not entirely true. My father sent a letter last year. It said, "I'm dying. Pancreatic cancer. I want to see you before I go." I showed it to Jordan. "What do you think?" "It's your choice, Sophia. I'll support whatever you decide." I thought about it for a long time. And then I wrote back, "Papa, I'm sorry you're sick. I truly am. But I can't be the daughter you want me to be. I can't forgive years of abandonment just because you're dying. That's not how this works. You taught me that family means showing up. You taught me that by not showing up when I needed you most. I've built a beautiful life without you. I have a family that loves me. I have a son who knows what unconditional love looks like because of Jordan and Gloria, not because of you. I hope you find peace. But I won't be there to give it to you. Goodbye, Sophia Richardson." He died 3 months later. My brothers called to tell me. I didn't go to the funeral. Some people think I'm heartless, cold, unforgiving. But here's what I know. Forgiveness isn't mandatory. You don't owe people grace just because they're dying. You don't owe people a relationship just because they share your DNA. Family is the people who show up. Family is the people who love you at your lowest, not just your highest. Gloria showed up. Jordan showed up. That's my family, and I'm happier than I've ever been. People ask me all the time, "Do you regret not reconciling with your family?" The answer is no. Regret would mean wishing I'd done something differently. But I wouldn't change a single thing. Yes, losing my family hurt. Yes, losing Jamal almost destroyed me. Yes, I went through hell. But that hell made me who I am. It taught me that I'm stronger than I ever knew. It showed me what real love looks like. Not the conditional love of my parents, but the unconditional love of Gloria, Jordan, and now Jay. It gave me purpose. Every piece of jewelry we make, every scholarship we award, every person whose story we honor. That's Jamal's legacy. That's our legacy. I'm 35 years old. I'm a CEO. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a survivor. And I built all of it without the people who said I'd fail. So to anyone out there who's been abandoned, disowned, or told they're not good enough, you are enough. You don't need anyone's approval to be successful. You don't need anyone's blessing to be happy. Build your own family. Build your own legacy. And when the people who abandoned you come crawling back, you get to decide if they deserve a second chance. For me, the answer was no. And I've never been more at peace. Thank you for listening to my story. It wasn't easy to share, but I hope it helps someone out there who's going through something similar. Hit that subscribe button if you want more stories about survival, resilience, and building your own path. Drop a comment. Would you have forgiven your family or done what I did? And remember, you don't owe anyone your success just because they share your last name. Take care of yourselves, love the people who love you back, and never, ever let anyone make you feel small. The end.